Good morning, Ray of Hope family. How are we doing today? I'm going to touch on quite a controversial subject to those that are in the recovery world. Um, if talking about pain management and pain pills is triggering to you, then this is a video that is not for you. But I have come across a content creator named Claudia A. Merandi, and I will tag her Facebook in the comment section below if you want to look her up. Now, however, I do advocate for those in recovery to be able to access care. However, I do agree that keeping pain management away from people that are in dire need of pain medication is not okay. Um, Pain management has and needs to be addressed. Somebody having bilateral mastectomy, somebody in stage 5 liver failure, somebody with cancer, somebody that has a chronic disease being denied pain management is not okay. And I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash from this. But you need to know that also fentanyl is what's killing people, and pressed pills, so as we call in the druggy world, dirty 30s, and they're called 30s. But a lot of people are dying not from your typical hydrocodone, Percocet, none of that. People are dying because they're mixing things together, and they're adding fentanyl to the mix, methamphetamines, they're adding, Xanax, Klonopins, which is a depressor to being able to breathe. I find it quite disturbing that there is a lot of Tylenol hospitals. If you don't believe me, look it up. They are ERs and hospitals that only will prescribe Tylenol for pain even after surgery. So I don't know about anybody else, but I do know if I was diagnosed, I'm in recovery, been in recovery 7 years. I'm only on Suboxone. Do I like it? No. Do not. Absolutely hate it. And now that I do, it saved my life in a sense, because we were told that, yes, was I using pain pills excessively? Absolutely. Did I have a problem? Absolutely. But my doctor cut me off. Did I ever fail a drug test? No. Did I ever test positive for fentanyl? No. But with that being said, now the whole crisis we have made in America has put people that are chronically ill patients not being able to get their pain management meds. And I think that is inhumane. Would you look at your animal, your favorite dog, and know that it's suffering and crying out in pain? Would you not want it? Would you not want the vet to take care of its pain? Would you not want seeing somebody in chronic pain? That is unbearable. And the suicide levels from elderly and people that live in chronic pain have skyrocketed. Even in the state of North Carolina, they have given doctors the 5 to 7 day prescribing limits with surgeries, and with getting some pain medicines out of the ERs. And there's some ERs that will not prescribe any at all. It's called the STOP Act, which is the 5 and 7 day prescription limit for North Carolina. I will tag it in the comments below or in the description. But I encourage you to look up Claudia A. Merandi and what she is trying to do. Because however much I advocate for people in recovery to be able to, get off of fentanyl, get off of street meth, get off of the things that are harming them and fix their mental health, I do not agree with the whole recovery world of we've got to stop pain medicine altogether. I think that is extremely inhumane, and I think that the FDA requiring doctors, like I even have trouble filling my prescription for Suboxone. I have a horrible time filling my prescription. Um, it is one of the most aggravating things in the world, because they have now implemented that if you live within a 50-mile radius, you have to live within a 50-mile radius of the pharmacy as well. So a lot of pharmacies won't even fill your medicine anymore if you don't live in a 50-mile radius. And for some folks that live, say you live out in the country, and it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes to the store, if you can't find what is somebody going to do? And a lot of pharmacies will not even fill my med. They will not even fill it. They don't even carry it. So, and what would you do if you broke your forearm, broke your leg, broke your pelvis, and they said, oh, we're going to give you Tylenol and Motrin, and you're going to rotate it? Now, if anybody, I've worked in healthcare, and I've worked in the healthcare profession, Tylenol and Motrin are deadly to your liver. Like, look up the side effects of Tylenol and what it can do to your liver. It will put you in liver failure pretty quickly if you start consuming large amounts of it for your pain. So, I've always been on what's right. Okay? I am not the person that comes on here and advocates for recovery and everybody is an addict. No. We all have addict tendencies. A lot of people do. Just because you're not an addict to one thing, don't mean you're not an addict to shopping. Doesn't mean you're not an addict to gambling. Doesn't mean you're not an addict to buying 500 pairs of shoes or 500 pair of earrings. Okay, let's make that very clear. Okay? Some people are addicted to buying nice things. Some people are addicted to, lesser things. Give or take in the world, okay? We all have a vice. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're 80 years old. I don't care if you're 20 years old. We all have a vice and something we like to spend money on and something that we like to do. Some things are just less productive than others. But I wanted to bring everybody's attention to this, and if you're experiencing this, if you have a loved one that is experiencing a doctor that they're having chronic pain, they have chronic noted, like noted chronic pain issues, such as, crippling arthritis, there's cancer. There's been cancer patients, y'all, that have been denied pain medication because of the recovery epidemic and all that. I'm sorry. Nobody that is dealing with a chronic issue that has been documented should be denied pain medicine. No, that's inhumane. And for anybody that would advocate for that, I don't see how you could. And I hope that you never see the day where you're dealing with a chronic pain issue and are denied care. Because at the end of the day, Suboxone, Subutex, Suboxone is a narcotic. It is one of the most addictive forms of narcotic that is out there. And I was never told this. In order to detox off of Suboxone, you half the time you have to go to Sublocade, which is a shot. I am down to minute amount a day, and if I don't take it, I'm sick. I wish I would have known that. And two, I lost all my teeth. Suboxone, Subutex, they ruin your teeth. Ruin it. It's been medically proven that the strip and peel decay your teeth. And so I've lost all mine, and I get a lot of hate from that. But, at least I'm still living. At least I'm still here. And one day, who knows? I have dentures, but I can't wear them. They just don't work for me. And I don't have $30,000 to drop on some snap-ins just yet. We're working on that, okay? But I just really wanted to bring, I've been seeing her on my FYP on Facebook, and I applaud Claudia A. Merandi for speaking up and speaking out. Because just because addicts are here doesn't mean that the other half of society that has chronic issues and chronic pain and bowel obstruction and cancer, whatever it may be that is in that, could you imagine being in pain, going to the doctor, and they look at you and say, the only thing I can give you is Tylenol? Have any of y'all ever had a toothache? Have any of y'all ever had a broken bone? I mean, just really think about that. Think about that. Would you want your mother or father being denied proper pain management care all because you're in a state or at a facility that is Tylenol only because of how the FDA is making the doctors? I mean, and two, let's be very clear. Doctors are going to jail over this and losing their license because the FDA is telling them you're writing too many scripts. So something needs to be changed, and it needs to be addressed. I am all about recovery, and if you have a problem with street drugs, or if you have a problem with over-the-counter, prescription, by all means, reach out and get that help. But one shouldn't discriminate upon the other. And if somebody is documented having degenerative issues or chronic pain issues, nobody, should be denied care. And looking at somebody with any chronic pain problem and telling them to take ibuprofen and Tylenol to cure their pain, again, I want you to look at how bad Tylenol and ibuprofen are for your bowel and for your liver. So, and I have gotten into a lot here lately, holistic care, for this very reason. There are a lot of plants and a lot of things that you can access that will help with pain management. I am also a 420 supporter. It doesn't cure all pain, but it helps. A lot of people will look at me and say, how could you be pro 420 and be in recovery? Well, you know what? I am not the stigma for a person in recovery. I am not the one that's going to stand there and call somebody a junkie because they're on Suboxone. And trust me, I have been called that. I have been called a junkie because I'm still on Suboxone by another content creator that is in recovery, and he's also a so-called preacher. So, we're given these platforms, and, I have my pages, and the reason I speak out upon this is because I would never want my loved one denied pain management care all because I had a problem. And there are people behind this so-called addiction. And what people also don't realize is fentanyl is what's killing people. Okay? It's really not, if you take your prescribed medications, Percocet, blah, 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 hydrocodone, blah, blah, blah. If you take it the way it's recommended, you are not going to die from it. Okay? But, I just wanted to make this video, and I'm sure I'm going to get hate, because I'm going to load this up on my Ray of Hope page on YouTube. And if you come here to hate on me, just know that I'll pray for you, and I would never want your mom or your dad going without proper care when they're dealing with chronic pain issues. And if you are, like I said, if you are in a state or you are near a doctor's office or a hospital that is Tylenol only, please let me know. We need to educate folks so that they know where not to go if they're dealing with a chronic pain issue. I'm sorry, I'm not going to have surgery on any part of my body and wake up to a Tylenol only. Not unless it's a simple surgery, okay? Now, I'm talking like when, people are they break a bone, break a pelvis, have cancer, have MS, have things that are chronic. And it's known to be chronic pain. And two, they're indoctrinating our younger youth and our younger CNA patients of CNA patients, CNA, CNA1, CNA2, medical responders, they're teaching them that Tylenol is okay. Well, if you are one of those folks that say Tylenol is fair for pain management, I want you to ask yourself this question. If your mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, child was screaming in pain, and you'd already given them the Tylenol and waited an hour and a half to 2 hours for it to take effect, and they're still, screaming in chronic pain and can't move, what would you do? What do you do at that point, ma'am or sir? What would you do? Because we have a lot of misconceptions about pain management care, and I just wanted to be one of the first people with a recovery page to talk about it. And if you don't like that I talk about it, you don't have to follow me. But at the end of the day, I advocate for all. And I can't advocate for people in recovery if I'm not advocating for people that desperately need pain management care and are not getting it. And also, too, these pill mill doctors that want to put in these pain pumps. They want to put in, inject people in their knees. Pain pumps hardly ever work. You can't hardly ever get a doctor to take them out once they're in. These steroid injections are really not good for your body at all. So I would highly advise you, if you're at one of those pill mill type of places that are giving you everything but a pill to try to help your pain, I would ask you to walk away and find another doctor. Because at the end of the day, they're hurting you. They are not helping you, they are hurting you. And they get a substantial amount of money. Georgia, lay down. They get a substantial amount of money for each pain pump they put in a patient. And that's where the transparency also needs to come out, is with these doctors that are doing this to people and it's not benefiting the patient. But we will go more in depth on this. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments below. I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Keep it respectful, guys. Keep it respectful. And also, look up Claudia A. Merandi. I know she's on Facebook, but I'm pretty sure she's on YouTube and other like X, Twitter, Instagram. I'm sure she's there too as well. But just a huge shout out for her, speaking up for patients that are being mistreated, that have severe pain. It's no different than somebody sticking up for somebody in recovery and don't want them around somebody that's selling fentanyl. There's no difference. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? And let's just make it very clear. I don't have a pen near me. Oh my God. You see the top of this pen? See the top of that? That's all it takes. The top, the very tippy top of that pen is all it takes for you to OD on fentanyl. So let's educate and educate right, people in recovery. And I love you all. And I hope that this video brings some education to those. And I hope it opens up some eyes. And again, I hope you have an amazing week. Remember that you matter. And I love you. And so does Jesus. Peace out.